Education is one of the key things which helps us prevent fraud from taking place. Those words from a certified fraud examiner as part of an information session aimed at helping seniors avoid becoming victims. Dave Oswald described a few scams he's familiar with and offered advice that should help people recognize and avoid being taken.
So none of you have met me before. I don't think I know anybody in the room. But does anybody trust me enough to give me $20? No. I have a taker.
And with that, the information session on fraud prevention for seniors began. Over 100 people learned about a variety of scams intended to separate you from your money. The keynote speaker, aided by a member of the audience to illustrate his point about one style of scam. This one is called pig butchering, which, Dave Oswald says, involves investing a small amount of money at first and actually getting a return until
they get to a point where they think they've got you on the hook, and then they'll ask for a large amount. And there'll always be a reason for it. We've got to raise $1 million, but we only allowed 10 investors, for instance. What they're looking for is they're looking for you to then tell all your friends about it, your colleagues, and for them all to invest as well.
A few different types of scams were shared during the hour and a half of this presentation, but it only scratches the surface of what's out there. The Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre's website shared a much longer list, along with stats on how many people have become victims. While the number of people in Halton Region who've been victimized wasn't available, those who attended are trying to avoid becoming the next one. It could happen to anyone, regardless of age, because different demographics are targeted uniquely.
So the hijacking type scam where the son's been locked away in jail in Mexico is the type of scam that won't happen to somebody who's 20 years old, 30 years old. But it will happen to somebody who's 50, 60 years old. If you have a look at, investment scams and buildings that are going up, then that's a different scam altogether, and that would more likely target your 30 to 40-year-old range. People who have now got a bit of money, they're looking for an investment which is going to grow quickly so that they'll have money to retire when they're 55, 60.
And where seniors are concerned, Oswald says romance scams are popular. Regardless of the approach, he wants people to know there's a common thread.
At the end of the day, the common theme between scams is gaining trust. There's always a pressure situation. There's always something going on in the background to create noise. That's probably the one thing which is common in most of the scams.
While the event was hosted in Burlington, anyone across the region could, of course, potentially be victimized. Halton Police indicated that they've seen an increase in seniors' fraud cases over the past few years, noting the prevalence of online scams has really taken off with the advent of everybody having their own mini personal computer in the form of a smartphone. While there are variations in scams, some things can be common, and those are the ones to watch out for.
99 times out of 100, you're contacted out of the blue, whether it's via your phone number, email, social media. It's unsolicited. The second thing is whatever that request may be, whether it's a grandparent scam, what have you, they're going to ask for money. They might say that they're a grandchild, for example, and they need money to get out of a certain situation. Or maybe there's a warrant for your arrest. I think we've all heard that one come across our phones at one time or another, where it states you have to pay money in order to alleviate that warrant. So there's always that money aspect, and sometimes the inclusion of cryptocurrency. And the third aspect is it's always something that needs to be done now. They want you, there's always an urgency to it.
Dylan encourages everyone to report scams and look over information on the Halton Regional Police website under the Staying Safe title. Click on Frauds and Scams. Jason Trout for Halton News in Burlington.